Yo, what's up everybody? It's time for day 2 of the Chroma tournament. This is going to be winners semis. So we are currently in the top 4 of the winners sides bracket. There's another 4 players that are currently in loser side. But yeah, we are watching Yo-Yo Marco play against Swag and Yasha. Now I'm actually quite excited for this. We have seen an Iron Wave today already. But this is the Iron Wave that made it to top 4 the fastest. Faster than anybody else. Just completely crushing the competition. So that's exciting. We're playing against a Bebu. Good old Bebu. Bebu is big and strong and scary. And we know everything about how powerful Bebu can be. But we haven't seen anything about Iron Wave, I think. So let's have a look at it then. We can see immediately Iron Wave utilizing all of the big strong purple cards here, right? We have Radiance, one of the strongest cards to build an early game advantage. Bloom Vagrant, again, fills the board, builds an early tempo advantage. Will of the Wood lets you use that tempo advantage to just, push for a lot of damage. I like Focus a lot here. This is very clever. This is a card that lets you deal some bonus damage, bust up your companions for better trades, but also it replenishes itself, giving you an opportunity to really kind of advance a game plan that isn't just aggro, but instead, maybe a bit slower and building more of a tempo advantage through card advantage. So that's all very good. Something that I find really interesting is Exquisite Proliferation. Choose a card from your hand, add a copy of it to your hand, add an additional copy to your hand for every different color of mana that was used to pay for Exquisite Proliferation past the first. So you can play this card and you can gain a whole bunch of copies of cards, right? And I think that actually makes a lot of sense with Iron Wave here. Iron Wave is a free color hero. And as such, you do have access to really quite powerful effects, like, for example, using an Exquisite Proliferation to generate free copies of a card. I mean, it's essentially card draw, but kind of better, kind of different, debatable. Depends on how you want to think about it. And I think that's pretty much it, right? That's the basic idea there. Iron Wave immediately getting a lot of value out of using that primary. This is exactly what this character is so freaking good at. This is why you play Iron Wave. You can see here using Focus to attack, get yourself some damage into the enemy hero, and then draw a card, and then use the primary to snipe out that frog anyway. Maintaining tempo, as well as dealing damage, as well as drawing cards. So powerful. And we're actually about to go into another incredibly powerful turn for Iron Wave here, where these 2 enchantments will actually run out at the start of the turn. When an enchantment runs out at the start of the turn, then Iron Wave actually generates mana, as you can see here, because of Iron Wave's secondary ability. After an allied permanent is destroyed during your turn, add 1 neutral to your mana pool until end of turn and take 1 damage. So this allows you to just generate this additional mana to play out cards that you wouldn't necessarily otherwise be able to play. In other words, Iron Wave goes hard and is hard to deal with. Now, worth keeping in mind here, we're going into turn 5 on this Bebu, and she just carried over to red. This allows her to play Iddat the Fast. And I think that's probably why we see a more conservative play here with the Red Sky Racketeer. Just kind of getting that down. Because not only does the Red Sky Racketeer just kind of put a decent body on the board, gives you the Bag of Crowns, but it actually blocks the Iddat the Fast. Iddat the Fast is 8 mana. And Swag and Yasha just doesn't really actually have enough mana for that right now. That's it. So as a result, that the Fast is going to have to wait a turn. Although admittedly now, next turn, almost certainly going to be coming out. And that's where it gets a bit problematic, right? We need to look at this board again and you can see, it's a bit scary. This is cool. Solar Witness, one of my personal favorite cards. I absolutely love Solar Witness. Dawn and at the start of your turn. If I am 1 page removed from exactly 1 allied enchantment, and that is my closest enchantment, I gain +3/+2 and deal 4 damage to my opposing page. So the way this card works is you need to have an enchantment in a spot. Let's pretend the Red Sky Racketeer is an enchantment. And then an empty spot. And then you play the Solar Witness. What this results in is the ability to immediately deal damage to anything in front of the Solar Witness, as well as having this very quickly growing, powerful companion that starts out as a 2/4, immediately becomes a 5/6, and if then isn't dealt with, becomes an 8/8 at the start of your turn, having already dealt 8 damage. Of course, it's a bit tricky because you need to actually have an enchantment down, but that's where stuff like Bloom Vagrant comes in, or even Radiance. You can actually chain it with those. Okay, this is scary. Look at this board, right? There's a lot of damage on here, but it that defiles always needs to be kept in mind, and now it can definitely and will definitely come down. You can see it's just going to grab the Will of the Wood and then take down 3 of those companions. So that's pretty brutal. And I am honestly kind of unsure how the Iron Wraith can fight back against this It That Defiles. Because here's the important thing to keep in mind. It That Defiles gains, puts the marking down on anything it destroys. That is with its Dawn, with its ability, but also just by attacking stuff or being attacked. If this guy attacks the It That Defiles, it gets destroyed by the It That Defiles, and this will then leave a marking on this page. That is kind of the struggle here, right? You can't even really fight into it. You can't even really use a card like Solar Witness. It's just not going to be quite powerful enough. But, there we go. 2 damage in, very good, using the primary. And now we can probably play Radiance in either this spot or this spot. Play the Solar Witness in front of the It That Defiles, and I will actually take care of it, dealing just enough damage to take it down. And Solar Witness, always important to remember, will continue to grow. So the marking isn't necessarily the biggest problem. Oh, we're not going with the... Okay, that's fine too, right? That's kind of the same idea. So instead of going with Radiance, we're gonna go with the Bloom Vagrant, also very powerful. Alright then. Swag and Yasha just kind of chilling here though. Of course, the big It That Defiles already coming out is near ideal. What is coming next? It can't be another It That Defiles because there isn't enough red mana available for Bebu. So that's always gonna be, kind of the consideration. That's always the thing that you need to keep in mind here. And the Solar Witness needs to be dealt with. Now, this is where it's important to bring up. The reason why this Bebu deck has been performing so incredibly well in this tournament, in my opinion, is because it was specifically built to do well against Zoo. Oh, man, that is weird. You're just given some free damage there. Alright. So this deck was specifically built to be good against Zoo. Which I don't think it's gonna be to anybody's surprise that it is quite good against Zoo as a result. And we are playing Iron Wraith Zoo here. Right, Iron Wraith, this deck right here that we're looking at, 100% a Zoo deck. And as a result, this will actually be able to deal with this kind of Bebu strategy. Will actually struggle a bit against this kind of Bebu strategy because this is kind of countered against it. What is a Zoo deck? So a Zoo deck is generally, it's a pretty wide term, right? It isn't necessarily describing one specific deck. It's more describing a style of deck. And that style tends to be identified by its focus on having a lot of companions. Ideally trying to flood the board as much as possible, putting as many of them down as possible. And then dealing damage with those companions as opposed to trying to deal damage with spells or trying to overwhelm or some sort of secondary effect, secondary abilities. It's all about using the companions to do as much work with them as you possibly can. So in this particular example, you can see that there's a lot of utility companions, right? You've got stuff like It That Binds, which can be used as removal. you have cards like Focus to make your companions even more powerful. These are the kind of effects you can expect in a Zoo deck and that are very powerful in these styles of decks. This is the question. Oh, there's the incident. Yeah. Maybe Iron Wraith was playing around that. I'm not entirely sure. Right, is so smart, good thinking. Oh, that is such a good draw here. This second Solar Witness. Perfect. Actually perfect. I wonder what we're gonna see. I expect that's going to be an exquisite proliferation here. Duplicating something. Maybe the Solar Witness? I mean, I don't know why else he would use the Bag of Crowns here. Especially considering, you know, Bag of Crowns gives chromatic mana. You can actually use it to get the perfect exquisite proliferation here. Yep, that is 4 different colors of mana. Gonna be using that, and then that is actually enough mana, right? 6 mana right now, 2 Bag of Crowns to actually play 2 more Solar Witnesses. I don't know if this is the primary strategy of this deck. Probably isn't. But you're gonna have to deal with this. That is really funny. Now, this guy right here, this Radiance, will last for quite a few turns. So there's definitely an opportunity, even after these witnesses get removed, that there's just going to be more witnesses coming out doing the same thing. Important thing about this as well is that Solar Witness deals damage to the page. If a page is empty, and you would deal damage to it, it just goes to the enemy hero, right? That damage isn't wasted. Instead, it just goes to the enemy hero. And this is where the Solar Witness is excellent, again, because not only does it threaten whatever is in front of it, but if there's nothing in front of it, it'll just start dealing more and more damage every single turn. Oh, well, it doesn't deal. Well, I mean, the 4 damage doesn't become more powerful, but you know, you get what I mean, right? It just kind of like becomes stronger by virtue of already having dealt damage. Now, of course, something that is a problem here, and that's very important. Oh, this is scary. Oh, no. Okay, that will probably that will deal with it, right? That will deal with the Solar Witnesses, but keep in mind that there is 3 more of these bad boys. Now, I was about to say something that's really important to remember here. This strategy, you cannot play multiple you cannot play 3 Solar Witnesses on this one enchantment. It just doesn't work, because you need to space them around an enchantment, and so the positioning just doesn't really allow for 3, it only allows for 2 of them. So this guy over here can get destroyed, and this is actually where positioning was important, and this was a mistake. What Swag and Yasha should have done is positioned this Veteran Executor into one of these pages, right? One of these 3 and maybe this one. Any of them would have been fine, as long as it's not this one over here and not this one over there. Oh, now that actually changes things a little bit, maybe? Not really, because the positioning is still, it's just there's not enough space on the board. Oh, what you can do is you can play this here and then snipe this one with the Solar Witness. That's actually probably worth it. It does take up this spot, but then you can still get rid of this Veteran Executor, which is pretty nice. So anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yes. Oh, no. I don't know if that's right. Just gonna destroy that? Okay. Well, now you can't use that attack again. Alright? And like, of course, this is a way of doing it as well. You just use the primary to deal that remaining bit of damage that you needed to deal. But it does kind of mean you can't, it does mean you can't attack again with the Radiance to draw another card. Still, you have a strong board again. Solar Witnesses just fighting. I'm excited to see Solar Witness. This is the first time I really see somebody other than myself use this card. And I think it is very, very, very powerful and really should be respected. So I am excited to see exactly that happen. I do think it is a bit strange though that the companions keep getting placed in front of the Solar Witnesses, which is just making it easier for them to clear stuff, right? That's just making that whole situation a lot simpler. Okay. That will get rid of both of them. Keep in mind, Valor for Incident is out, meaning I have bolt and enter the guard stance after attacking. That is being applied and allows these companions to attack easily and trade easily. Again, that is the main point of this whole deck. That's the focal point of the whole strategy with this Babu deck. And now I'm a bit concerned. It That Binds can come out. So It That Binds is also super cool in this deck, actually. I really like it. Of course, important to remember, there's no green mana in the Iron Wraith mana pool, kind of natively. So it's a bit difficult to actually play the It That Binds. You need to have a bag of crowns first. But that is possible. We have, as we saw earlier, we have multiple Red Sky Racketeers. I guess just one we saw so far, but I would guess there's multiples of them. There's a Benefactor. You can generate the bags of crowns. And then what you can do is you can use It That Binds to target any permanent, right? And you can just connect yourself the It That Binds with anything you want it to be connected with. Because you can also use its ability multiple times a turn. And then when the It That Binds dies, when it is destroyed, it also destroys everything that it is linked up to. And guess who's got a nice way of destroying something? The Iron Wave Primary destroys one of your own companions. Well, it turns out It That Binds is one of your own companions. So here we see that's coming out. I wonder how many we're going to see destroyed here. So that's one. I would guess probably actually only these two. Right? And then you use the primary here to snipe that over there. And then you can still play the final Solar Witness. And at this point, I'm a little concerned if Babu even has enough to be able to take down this 5th Solar Witness. Man, okay. Okay, that's a problem. That's gonna be scary. This has been a really interesting game. I think switching to the Solar Witness strategy was really, really clever. That was really, really clever. Now, there is always a chance right now that we just see an It That Defiles. Well, actually, there's not enough red mana for that. So no It That Defiles yet. But, you know, if there was an It That Defiles, that would be a bit of a problem. Okay, Animus Mirror. That can be a problem. I don't know if Babu has another strong companion to utilize this with. We're not in Act 3 yet, so there's not... Oh my god! Is that the 3rd? That's the 3rd Veteran Executor. Wait. 1, 2, 3. When did that happen? Oh yes, one of them was the Holzen becomes. No, but that is actually the 3rd Veteran Executor. That is quite lucky. Very, very unfortunate for Yo-Yo Marco here. And I would expect that at this point we're going to probably see a concession soon. I mean, this It That Binds can still clear the board. And I mean, Babu is out of stuff, but you don't actually have the mana you need to play It That Binds right now. Could just use the ultimate. That will clear the board. And actually, you can use the ultimate to set up into either Solar Witness again, or set up into a Red Sky Racketeer to generate bags of crowns again. So there's, there's a bit of an opportunity there. I think that's definitely something to keep in mind there. So what I'm talking about here is that Iron Wraith can use his ultimate. 6 neutral mana. Choose a companion in your ashes. They become an avatar and then enter the story. Destroy all the adjacent permanents. Yeah, so this is going to be a Solar Witness. We see this Lagomelian Nomad is just sacrificed. And then we will probably see a Solar Witness come into this page, which will then destroy everything around itself. Very good. And giving the opportunity again to start growing in power. Again, we haven't actually seen one of these trigger at the start of your turn, but it's a Dawn and an ability. Dawn and at the start of your turn. So that means it will trigger once when you play it, but it will trigger again at the start of your turn, giving you an opportunity there. Is this going to be an ultimate? People are very reluctant to use the Bebo ultimate because it is definitely an all-in move. It is 100% an all-in. But right now, yeah, actually gonna use the ultimate. Okay, that is risky. This actually makes me think it would have been better to use the Red Sky Racketeer, maybe, but admittedly the Red Sky Racketeer wouldn't have pushed as much damage. Alright, let's see what's voided. Ramages was Eat That the Fast, that's an important one. 2 Beholds and Becomes. Actually, a lot of these Mystic Vanguards. Oh, that is... Whew, that is rough. That is rough. There should still be 1 Eat That the Files. It depends how many are in the deck. I would guess that 3 of them. 3 of them are in there. Although, next problem here... This Solar Witness is actually gonna grow too strong to die from an Eat That the Fast. Ah, no, it can be yeeted onto the already existing mark. Okay. Are Drivens in there? No Sons of Drivens. So there are probably some in hand. We saw 2 already played though. So there's 1 Son of Driven available. Okay. There's the Vanguard Recruiter. Is this lethal? Is there a chance? Is there a chance this is lethal? Alright, toggle that, toggle it out again. It will deal... No, okay, we're not going for the kill right now. That is fair. I think that makes sense. You know, don't need to be too aggressive here. You can just go back to controlling a bit. Oh, this is where it's gonna be tricky. If the Iron Wraith... So here's kind of what happened. Because the Bebo drew her entire deck, right? Oh, you drew a Benefactor! Oh my god! But can you wait? You have to wait, right? I think you should have used the Nomad there. You know, heal yourself a bit more. But you're dead. There's gonna be enough damage, right? There's easily enough damage. Oh yeah, no, this is over. You're dead. You were dead on board. That was actually a bad pass. Oh, man. I mean, at the very least, use the Nomad. You know, you don't need it anymore. So, the Benefactor was the perfect draw because it allows you to activate the Eat That Binds. But what was going on is that Yo-Yo Marco was trying to save up the Eat That Binds to connect with more targets. Which is sensible, except for the part where he fucking died. That was the main problem here. The main issue was the part where you fucking died. So that's where you're gonna have to maybe address that small flaw in your strategy. Okay. Hey, cool. This gives us an opportunity to look at this deck. So yeah, there's 3 Red Sky Racketeers, 3 Solar Witnesses, 3 Will of the Wood. And this is the entire high-end. Scholar's Attendants, 2 Eat That Binds in this deck as the baseline. Where we make soldiers, that's interesting. Is there that many spirits? I guess there would be quite a few spirits. This is a Grayon, I guess. Grayon. This is a Tayak Rogue. There's another Grayon. I guess you can actually sort of rally the Grayon. I find the Where We Make Soldiers to be surprising. Interesting. The funny Seed of Things Unknown, and it reached back. Sideboard options as well as moments between, and the third Eat That Binds. I think Eat That Binds ended up being really, really powerful. Although, of course, the problem with it is that you need more mana. So you might want to say, okay, let's get rid of some of this. Let's get rid of some stuff, I don't really know what, and add in the Moments Between and more Eat That Binds. Moments Between is also a great tool for just making sure you have enough mana. Oh, and it reached back actually coming in here. Okay, that's interesting. So this is a nice card for Iron Wraith because the way Anod Reach Back works is, oh my god, that is a perfect starting hand. That is the perfect starting hand. I don't think you could come up with a better one if you tried. Alright, let's see how this goes down. I am terrified for this Babu because you can see, you can almost certainly expect like 2, maybe even 3 triggers off of this focus. Of course, it will also just allow the Wild Gardener to be pushing a lot of damage. Bloom Vagrant probably tossed all the way to the right side, and then Solar Witness gonna start building up on turn 4 already. I mean, that's kind of crazy. You could go for where we make soldiers, but I don't really think you bother. Yeah, right? You just start swinging. You just start swinging here. Whew. That, man, that is a crazy, crazy starting hand. Okay, what was I saying? I was saying something, but then I kind of lost track of it a little bit. Oh, man. Okay, little geckos running around the timer. See, that doesn't even do anything. Right? Like, that doesn't help because you just trade with the 1-2. You're happy to trade with the 1-2. That's fine. You can't play the Solar Witness yet. Even with that. I mean, you use the primary. You don't actually trade, right? Like, you attack face and then you use the primary. Probably attack first with the 3-4 and draw a card. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted. So the way Anid Reach Back works is it swaps two permanents, swaps two companions. So you can see how these two are facing each other. That's the only time you can use. That's the only time you can use Anid Reached Back. And then it swaps the control of both of them and makes them enchantment companions. And making them enchantment companions means that they are going to die at the start of your turn anyway. But here's where Iron Wraith is really cool. Because you swap control of them, you probably get your opponent's really strong thing. And then you use that really strong thing to sacrifice it and deal a lot of damage to something else. And that is cool. Alright, Swag and Yasha. Still not there. Right? This is not enough mana to get out and it that the files, which I think is the big card you're looking for. And this is kind of the struggle with Babu a little bit. Because right now, she has access to 5 mana, but what do you play? Because what if I play something now? I can't then maybe try and Bag of Crowns into an It That Defiles next turn. That's where she's limited, right? And if you save your mana, well, you kind of did nothing against a board that is already looking absolutely terrifying. So, yeah, okay. So, that's, I think, probably the best you can expect at this stage. Although this opens up some possibilities for the Iron Wraith here, right? You can, instead of going really hard by playing a Solar Witness, it might be smarter, it might be better to instead attack with the Bloom Vagrant, attack with the bird, sacrifice the Bloom Vagrant because it's going to die at the start of your turn anyway. Blow up the guy over there. Wait, does that then add mana to you? I don't actually know if that adds mana. You might need to sacrifice the bird. But then you can ramp into the Red Sky Racketeer, which would actually block out the It That Defiles from being played next turn. And you need to keep that in mind, right? Bag of Crowns is available on Babu's side. So the 3 mana left open, plus the 4 mana she gets next turn, plus the Bag of Crowns, that's 8 with way more than enough red to actually play an It That Defiles. And that's what you need to play around here. What does It That Defiles do again? It That Defiles comes down. then it gets to move one of your opponent's companions to anywhere it wants. And then it deals damage to everything around itself as much as it has attack. And then anytime it destroys something, it leaves behind a mark that gives everything in that spot -3, -3. Alright, so you do actually get mana from that. Cool, look at that. Something I didn't even know. So I think the Red Sky Racketeer is sort of necessary here. But is that even good enough now? Is that even good enough now? Because you have just given Act 2 mana. It's not, right? It's not actually good enough. Huh. Okay, that has me a little worried. That has me a bit concerned, yeah. So this is where the big question is, does Bebu actually have it? Bag of Crowns? Oh, just an incident. Oh. That's rough. That is rough, I tell you. You don't want to see that. For sure, for sure. Well, you need to start actually applying pressure now. You know, you need to actually work your way towards that victory. Although, again, this is definitely a case of playing into your counter deck. And I think that the Bebu is just... You know, it's a deck that's designed to beat this kind of nonsense here. Now, that doesn't mean it's over. There's a key, very important card here. The Folly. At the start of each hero's turn, the Folly deals damage to them equal to half the amount of companions in their opponent's ashes. That is something that will actually allow you to deal the bit of remaining damage that I think you're worried about here as Iron Wraith. Honestly, I think that's kind of like your main concern. Is, okay, I can actually put out like a good amount and I can actually get this Bebu to a relatively low amount of HP. But can I kill her? Right? Will you actually be able to get the kill? And that I don't know. Right? But the Folly will help. Because the Folly will actually deal quite a lot of damage. Except it won't because all of the stuff got voided. Oh, that is a big problem actually. Man. That is a big problem. Hey, the movie. You're streaming on a Sunday. Have you got Insanity? That's the regular Insanity of tournament. Just tournament stuff. Just tournament stuff. So what does Swag and Yasha do? Okay, yeah. I mean, it's not a big surprise. This is when you actually need to ask yourself, is it maybe worth it putting this guy into the guarded stance, you know? By leaving this fella in the combat stance, you're leaving them exposed. And they can actually just grow in the guarded stance. They don't have to be in a combat stance. That's not a requirement. Oh, is it happening again? Now, it's important to keep in mind here that Swaggin Yasha is preserving a red mana for the potential it that defiles here. So the possibility there is a bit spooky. Predictions next game. Oh, I forgot about the predictions. Wait. Alright, start a prediction. Alright, who wins? Bebu? Wait, no. Yeah, I guess Iron Wraith or Bebu. Iron Wraith. Alright. You know what? I think you got 1 minute to predict right now. I don't know who is gonna win. I think this is still quite undecided. Oh my god, that is such a big rally. You are a beast healer. These are beasts. Is that what it's for? That is so clever. That is actually really, really clever. I really like that. Is that what the Lagomelia Nomad is for? I was wondering why that card is being played here, because it feels a bit out of place, but I mean it's a 1 mana 2/2. It's just, you know, kind of dies on its own. Alright then. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, the big boy. That's the big boy, for sure. Probably gonna take down the Will of the Wood. But that still keeps the free one alive. Smart. See what Swagen Yasha did there? Placing this mark right here makes it so that the Sword of Witness can't be placed over there. Does that matter? Probably not. Realistically speaking, probably doesn't matter. But it's still cool and I appreciate it. Wait, just going face, okay. I mean, you could have gotten down another mark here, and I feel like these marks are really valuable. Okay then. What is the predictions? Wow, you guys are saying Iron Wave. 96%. Oh, it's just because somebody bet 84,000. Oh wait, no. Somebody bet 100,000. Why are you betting with this many points? Are you people silly? Wait, here. Look at this nonsense. Alright. Sure, I mean, go right ahead. Who am I to tell you otherwise? Still a possible line for the Bebu, especially Iron Wave doesn't kill this turn. Bebu is not out of this. I think it's completely unreasonable to assume that Bebu is out of this. That sounds like you are asking to lose your points. Somebody at 5k, oh, Miss Kaze, and a total of 8.1k being bet. So 1 to 26 is the outcome on this. So if Miss Kaze wins, that's like 130,000 points right there. So by the way, that's only for this match, right? It's not for the entire best of 3. Currently, Bebu is leading with 1 game. Timer's running a bit low. I wonder what the strategy is going to be here. That looks like an exquisite proliferation. Proliferate the folly, right? No! Really? Don't you proliferate the folly there every time? Okay. Gonna go and get a bag of crowns into play. Bad spot for it though. Bad spot. Because you're kind of blocking off for your... Well, I guess it doesn't matter. There's no enchantment in play anyway. Yeah, why are you getting more solar witnesses? There's no enchantment in play. That is weird. I think right there, the right play, if you ask me, was to go for a duplicate folly, play one of them this turn, play as many as you can next turn, and just hope they poke down the Bebu. Right? Like, that would actually probably get there. Oh, this is kind of clever. This will actually deal damage now. Because healing is damage. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, alright. So there is an It That Binds, but there's no enchantment. I guess you can use the ultimate to bring back the Lagomelia Nomad. Do you really want to use the 6 mana Iron Wave ultimate on a Lagomelia Nomad? I think that's it. I think that's what we're gonna see. Right? Nomad on this mark again. And then play the Solar Witness here and start poking that. And then probably use the primary to deal damage to this. Either that, or you could play... No. Alright, let's see. Let's see what happens here. So yes, it is actually this ultimate, this really incredibly powerful ability is being used on a little bunny. On a tiny little buddy. It is still a destruction effect, right? But one of the nice things about it is that you can bring back one of your powerful companions. A bunny is not necessarily what you're aiming for there. Alright, yeah, that's not a surprise right there. And yeah, okay. Sorry, that was just a bit of a visual issue there. Don't worry about it. Okay, that's a solar witness down. I mean, if this guy sticks, that can definitely win you the game. There's no question about that. And there are 3 more solar witnesses which can just be played to poke for 4 damage each. Which is not enough, but with the folly it might be. I don't know. I'm a little surprised by this line. I would have gone a different way. I'm also a bit worried because this might mean another Valafar incident to clear the board, get rid of the bunny. And if the bunny is gone, there's actually no more way to trigger these solar witnesses. You do need an enchantment to be able to do it. There it is, yeah. Should have attacked with it first. That's actually a bit of missed damage. Can you just sacrifice the solar witness for lethal? No, you can't use the Iron Wave primary on the opposing hero. You can't shoot face. That doesn't work. Yeah, but there are no more... There's just no way to actually trigger these witnesses. They need an enchantment, and there is no enchantment. You can just play them with the way we make soldiers, right? To rally them and kind of buff them that way. Maybe play the Wild Gardener. Alright, there you go. Cool. I think you gotta drop the folly at this stage, right? It will actually do a good amount of damage now. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hey, it pokes for free every turn, but I mean, you gotta start dealing some damage here. Alright, we're just gonna see a raw solar witness. That doesn't mean there is no folly. I think we're probably still going to see the folly. Folly can kill you though? Yeah, but you gotta take that risk. I mean, if you're playing defensively against this deck, I think you just die. The Bebu just has way more burst potential. She has way more burst potential. She might have, like, yeah, she has some stuff in the ashes too. Right? But like, just think about this. Like, Veteran Executors, Black Dragon Saints, all of this stuff has bolt now. You're gonna die. Earlier you had a health advantage and you could have used that, right? Like now there isn't really so much a health advantage anymore. And that makes that a bit more difficult. I'm not saying there's a clear, obvious play. I think this is just a really difficult situation that is rough to deal with. Okay. Yeah, that's, there it is. That's the Animus Mirror. Animus Mirror, whenever you leave the guarded stance, you deal your attack and damage. And guess who's good at switching stances? That's right, Mystic Vanguards and Stewards of Fate and Bebu. Animus Mirror, Animus Mirror, Animus Mirror. Kind of the perfect card right now. Because not only is it, like, it's going to offer the opportunity to just win, potentially, but also to deal more, to deal with the board. No, something sticks on the board. That kind of changes the situation. You're gonna go for... Wow, that's a surprise. Actually gonna try to take down the folly. See? Doesn't even matter. You don't even need to worry about that if your opponent just takes down the folly for you. Then you just get free damage. Redistribution of channel points around the corner. Oh man. This is such a tense game. This is so close. Okay, yeah, that will destroy the... This is... I don't like this. I think this is just the wrong... You're dead. You can kill one more thing. Yeah, okay, not a surprise. That's fine. Is that lethal? You can get +6. It's not lethal. It's not lethal. Is there any way to make this lethal? No. So you use the it that defiles then. It that binds, right? Wait, how much mana do you have? 12, 13 mana, 14 mana. Is there any way to make this lethal? You play the where we make soldiers and... Oh, I guess you can focus twice and then attack and draw. Not enough. I think now you have to clear. Now you have to clear. Right? But you do still have a good clear, I think. Only has one card in hand, just full clear with it that binds. But always important to keep in mind, the ultimate is available here. I mean, that's going to mill. Oh my god, it's gonna mill like 16 cards, but... I mean, sometimes you just gotta mill those 16, right? Again, I do want to point out that our points prediction economy is about to crash. Because Babu can definitely still win this. I would even personally put odds on Babu, because with the barrier breaking... Oh my god. The barrier breaking is actually such a big deal. Using... Oh my god. Oh, and Animus Mirror is still standing. Wait, does this only work? No, this works on permanence. Why is the Animus Mirror still alive? No! That's it. There's no way. I mean, like, okay, everything is getting voided right now. Swagin Yasha needs to get so unbelievably scammed. I don't even know. There's no way there isn't 15 damage in there. With the Animus Mirror still alive. I can't even look, man. Oh my god, this is way too close. No, that's it. That is it. That is it. Now you just need anything. Oh. Easily enough. Easily enough. Wait, is it? Oh, yeah. That does it. That does it. Babu wins! And the points economy goes into the dumpster. And with that, some people just just got a lot of money. Damn. I have to say, bit of a throw if you ask me. Little bit of a throw there. Little bit of a throw. I think there was definitely an opportunity for the Iron Wave to win. Admittedly, I feel like those opportunities were difficult to find, but hey. It took a little bit until we got the next game going, so I decided I'm just gonna like cut it and I'll upload this as separate videos. So, yeah, I guess I'll see you on the next one. Alright, cool.